And for many, many years, as a friend of Uri's, I spent hours sitting looking at spoons, looking at keys, saying bend, 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 with nothing, no results. And it wasn't really until about 12 years ago that I was reading a passage in The Geller Effect, one of the books about Uri Geller, where Eldon Bird, a professor at King's College University in London, said, "This is how Uri taught me to bend spoons. This is how I teach my students." And for the first time when I read that, I first got upset. I said, "Uri's my friend. He never taught me to bend spoons." And then it dawned on me, I never asked him. So my bad, I didn't ask him. Probably if I did, he may have shared this with me. I learned how to do the human levitation, lifting people up with your fingertips. I learned methods of developing your mind to do telepathy and transmit thoughts and that type of thing. But really, I think ultimately in the back of my mind, I felt spoon bending was a gift that Uri had, and there were a few people that saw it. In the many lectures of his that I went to, the thing that impressed me the most is watching the children that he'd call up out of the audience that would pick up big ladles, and suddenly they'd be flopping over like they were rubber. That, to me, meant more to me than even watching Uri do it. So when I read that passage from Eldon Bird about Uri teaching him, it made a paradigm shift take place in my mind, and that night I went home, took a spoon, and I sat like I've seen Uri do many, many times and started rubbing it, thinking bend, melt, break, bend, melt, break, just trying to cause it to bend. Nothing happened. Now I brought some big old spoons here to see that they all spoon together. As you can see, they do spoon together. I'm going to see if this will work for you. And I'm going to let you go ahead and pick one. Okay. So I sat there rubbing it. And when I say the paradigm shift took place, is suddenly it dawned on me that when people ask me, is this a gift or is this something that can be learned? My answer now is yes. For some people, like athletes, there's some athletes that are just born athletes, that just can do those things. But then there's other brilliant human beings that excel in their sports from putting hard work and effort into it. And suddenly it dawned on me, something that I've always believed in, is if the human imagination can think of something, there must be a reality to it. So I sat there for about 20, 40 minutes going bend, 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 nothing. It was when I stopped trying to bend the spoon. And as a hypnotist, I understand that 88% of our minds are subconscious, 12% is our conscious mind. Our conscious is where our logic, our reason, our superior judgment, our decision-making process, and that one thing that's never there when you really need it, willpower. But our subconscious is where our belief system, our permanent memories, our emotions, our feelings all reside. It's the most powerful part of our mind. So when I turned the TV set on and I just continued to rub the spoon every once in a while, testing it to see if I could feel anything, it was after a few minutes I could feel that it started getting a little bit, it's hard to describe, it's kind of a waxy feeling. And when it started getting that feeling, it became soft, and as I teach this, and as I'll be doing in a couple of days, when I do this in groups of people, about 80% of the people wind up bending their spoons. And
As you are right now.
I can feel that this is actually starting to get that way. And I'll see if I can do this for the camera. And let's see if we can see it happen. Bend. Bend. Yeah, there it goes. I don't know if you can see the handle, but it's starting to go. Bend.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it popping up.
Let's see. Look.
I can see it popping up.
Yeah, look.
Oh, wow.
It actually bent quite a bit.
I just saw my first spoon bending.
And don't worry, you'll be doing it in a day or two. And the cool thing about it, in fact, I like to do this. This is kind of, I always do an homage to the movie The Matrix. In The Matrix, he says, there is no spoon, it's all in your mind. Well, this is actually a spoon. I'll do this for the camera. And it continues to go. And I'm doing this just for the camera. I don't know if you can see it, but
Turn it sideways.
yeah, it's going. Yeah, it's actually pretty badly bent.
Yeah.
And if I continue to rub it like this, it'll continue to bend. You would think by pressing down on it would cause it to bend in a down fashion, but it just continues to bend. And that's really a pretty badly bent spoon.
Good job.
Now, the interesting thing is that people can do this. And when I do my lectures, I actually have people focus their energy. And as Jack Hoke would do his lectures, he broke it into 3 categories. There was kindergarten, where he actually physically bent the spoon. Then there was high school, where you would take a piece of metal that was heavier that you couldn't physically bend and cause it to bend. And then graduate school, which is one of the more phenomenal things, and I've only been able to do this a few times myself, where you actually buckle the bowl of a spoon, or you cause something to bend without really even touching it. And what's really wild about this is that when the metal gets pliable, it's hard to describe it, it becomes like rubber.
Oh my gosh.
And then it will get hard again, and it won't, it's not going to bend anymore. But that's a really badly bent spoon.
And I don't think I could do that. No.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't, sorry, I don't mean
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
I couldn't do that, that's for sure. I couldn't.
And the interesting thing is, the first time I did this, I did a lecture with a group of 40 people. 39 people bent their spoons. I know a magician friend of mine that was there said, "Oh, I know all the tricks on how to do it, but I've never been able to roll up a spoon like that until this."